Yep.
Yep, ready to go.
I think that's everyone recording, everyone ready? Right, Brian, just get us underway when you're ready.
Okay, David, first of all, could we speak about Leanne and her decision yesterday to step down? Did it surprise you in any way?
Absolutely. I think very surprised. On a personal level, very disappointed as well, just because she'll be a massive loss to the club, from my opinion. I think she's done an unbelievable job and will be very difficult to replace. I think she's done, as I say, an excellent job over the years. And from when I first came in, I think I was one of the first signings. And from the job she inherited to what she's done now, I think she deserves immense credit and fully deserves all the credit she can get for that.
One of the first things she had to do, of course, was change manager, as well as bring the likes of yourself in. That couldn't have been an easy job to do as one of your first as chief exec.
Oh, definitely not. Especially having just been relegated as well. Just been relegated, and there was Rangers and Hearts also in the Championship as well. So it was always going to be a very difficult season. But at the same time, a team like Hibs have got such high standards and demand, so it was always a difficult appointment for it. But I think, as you can see, it was a successful one. We went on and won the Scottish Cup and had some great nights and occasions at Easter Road since she's been at the club. So, as I say, she's done an unbelievable job, and she'll be definitely missed. Does
sometimes the job of chief executive get forgotten a little bit by the supporters because they're not in front of cameras every week, they're not on the pitch every week, they're not the front people at the club?
Possibly. I think when things are all going well, I think nobody's really going to ask any questions. I'm sure through difficult periods, questions get asked more, especially from fans, and when people start to demand change and things like that, can be a very difficult situation for them. But as I say, since I joined the club and since Leanne's been here, we've been moving forward every single year, and I think it shows with the job she's done for what she inherited to how she's leaving it. It's an incredible position, and one she can be really proud of what she's done. Have you spoken to her? And it does look like she might not be able to work for too long, because I think there's certainly at least one other club who are potentially looking at employing her over the next few months. No, as I say, it's very fresh to me. I think we just found out ourselves yesterday, so I'm sure Leanne won't be short of offers if whether she decides to turn her hand to next. But at the same time, that's up to the people above and the board and the owner to do that. We just concentrate on the football.
How does it, in terms of you being captain, David, what does that do in terms of the conduit with the board now? Who would you speak to as the captain if you have issues, or what you do in terms of your liaising with the board?
I think nothing's really changed on that front, because we've also got Graham Matthew and the manager. That would be I'm from the playing side, that's who we always speak to. Graham's here every day, the manager's here every day, so they're always my sort of point of contact. And you could say I'm a kind of link between myself and my dressing room and the likes of the manager and Graham. So nothing really changes on that front. And it'll just, as I say, we just have to fully concentrate on what lies ahead now, which is an important game tomorrow in the Cup. And I'm sure the board and, as I say, the owners will do what they need to do to make sure that they get the right person in.
There was obviously tough times during the summer, as there was at every club. With Leanne going now, do you worry about a stability in any way? Or are you happy now that with Ron bedding in over the last 18 months, things are in place in terms of what you need from a board as a playing squad?
No, I think we've been very lucky with the support we've had. And you can see that it's a very difficult time. It's for everything, every football club, not just Hibs. Everyone's been struggling of late. The whole world's been struggling of late. It's a difficult time, but like I say, we're just concentrating on the football, and we've had a great relationship with Ron since he's came in. And like Leanne said, that there's exciting times for Hibs moving forward, and hopefully we can just keep doing what we're doing on the pitch, and the rest of the stuff will take care of itself, and we can keep being successful.
David, when you think back to when you signed for Hibs, what were your first impressions of Leanne and obviously Alan, who would have been the two figures instrumental in bringing you to the club, and how would you characterise the way Leanne is with the players, the sort of style of chief exec that she is?
Yeah, I think she was very approachable. I had a great relationship with her personally. I was able to speak to her at any time. If I had any problems, I could speak to her direct. I didn't feel in any way worried about speaking to her. And I think you just see with the people she's brought into the football club, the structure that was in place, like George Craig, The manager at the time was Alan Stubbs coming in, and then everybody else slowly but surely the structure was getting bigger and bigger. And from a footballing point of view and a playing point of view, the players are spoiled with the club. They had so much. The structure was there for us to get better and better, and I think that was down to the people she brought in and the support she got from above, and everyone moving forward. And as you can see, that's reflected in season ticket sales and success that we've had over a few years. So, all in all, as I say, we're in a fantastic position, but we need to really push on now.
Like she's been sharing kind of pictures and so many from, of course, the Scottish Cup win, which I think she said yesterday will be, her greatest memory from her time at the club. Do you require, that happiness and that togetherness to get that sort of success? Is that, would you say it fair that that's something that Leanne helped to sort of create at Hibs?
Definitely, she definitely created that culture, the togetherness. Like I say, the structure that was put in place was all about that, about togetherness, and because it was a rebuilding job. I think when I first came in, we were lucky to get a five-a-side team, established professionals at the club, with a lot of younger ones as well. But in terms of first team regular players, there was only about 5 or 6 left. So it was a proper rebuilding job. And then when you see how quickly we managed to turn that around, and then ultimately the success of the Scottish Cup, and then moving into getting back to where we needed to be, which was the main priority, back into the top league, I think we've really pushed on from there now. And I think, as I say, should develop that culture and togetherness, and that's something we strive to do. And I'm, as a captain, very lucky. The dressing room I've got at the minute, it's full of players like that, which comes down to our recruitment as well.
David, how frustrating a season has this one been? Just obviously the 3 starts in the Betfred Cup.
It's a bit of both, really, to be honest. Also, I'm desperate to play. I'm fit and ready to play if called upon. I'm training all the time, which is fantastic, which is, for me, a massive plus for how it's been for the last couple of seasons. So, on a personal note, to be fit and available all the time is a massive improvement for how I've been over the last couple of years. And I just need to be as ready and focused as I can. So if an opportunity comes up, I'm able to take it. And credit to the boys that are playing at the minute. They've been really, really good. I think defensively, there's a start, especially early on in the season, we're keeping a lot of clean sheets, and there's a real effort to stop goals going in. And I think we need to keep getting back to that now, with a few in of late. And I think competition for places and things like that's really good. And as I say, I need to be patient, but at the same time, fully understand the situation we're in.
How hard is it to be patient, given that you are a senior figure at the club, captain? I mean, you want to be one of the big voices in the dressing room, but if you're not playing, is that an easy thing to do, to still be that big figure?
I think so. Well, I don't know, but honestly, from a personal point of view, it's difficult when you're not playing. I think everybody wants to play, and if someone was happy not playing, then I don't believe they're in the right job. I think it's something I'm desperate to still be doing, and I push myself every single day. And I think there's a few boys in the same situation, that we can only try and do as well as we can every day in training to raise the standard, to make sure the standard's there for the boys that are playing as well. But in terms of how I go about myself, I think nothing changes from that front. I obviously want the team to be as successful as possible, and as I mentioned before, I'm quite lucky with the other senior professionals in the dressing room, that it kind of manages itself, so everybody really chips in, and it's quite easy to manage on that front.
You're obviously 32 now. You've put your injury troubles behind you now. How long do you see yourself sort of carrying on playing for? Do you think you've got sort of a few more years yet to go?
Yeah, definitely. I think the way I'm training, the way I feel in training at the minute, I'm training all the time, which is great. And listen, you never know what's round the corner, but I want to be, it's an easy one to say, I want to play for as long as I possibly can. And at the same time, obviously, I'm not happy that, or I'm not just going to settle the fact that I'm not playing at the minute. I'm striving to get back in the side as much as I can, and fighting every day in training to try and to better myself and be as good as I can for the team. So the appetite's still definitely there to continue to play for as long as I possibly can, and until that day comes, I'm not thinking about that.
Might you have to go elsewhere if that opportunity doesn't come at Hibs? I mean, just for your own personal point of view, if you want to prolong your playing career, is that something that you might have to consider, as hard as it may be?
I'm not sure at the minute. It's, as I say, that's not really a decision for me right now to just turn around and say, "Oh, I'm not playing, I would like to leave." It's not at all the case. I love playing for the football club. I've had a fantastic time here, and I still really enjoy coming in every single day and trying to better myself and really pushing to try and get back in the team. And I still believe I'm able enough to play in the team if called upon, if the manager decides to do that. So I want to be as fit and as ready as I can. I'm not thinking about going anywhere else right at this moment in time. But if the situation was to change for whatever reason, then it might be something I'd have to look at down the line. But my full focus on at the minute is to be as good as I can and force my way into the first team. If I get the opportunity, then it's up to me. If I can get in, I can stay there.
Cheers, David.
I know obviously it's not been the minutes you've wanted this season, but it still must make you happy as club captain and as a defender that 3 of them are in with a shout of the Scotland squad, and even Josh Doyle's made his way into the youth setup then.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's just a sign of how well we've been, how well we've done this season. I think when the boys got their call-ups, I think it was deservedly so. We've been very consistent, very hard to beat, and as I say, there's still 4 or 5 lads who are not playing every week that still take part in training every week, that strive to get into the first team, and it keeps the boys who are playing at the minute on their toes and keeps us really fighting for positions, which is great. And I think having that every day in training really benefits for the boys that are playing on a Saturday.
Is this sort of the best squad you've sort of seen in your time at Hibs, just with the amount of strength and depth you have?
I don't know. It's difficult to say, to be honest. I've been lucky enough to play with some fantastic players over the time. In terms of, as I say, the squad itself is fully great players and great people. More importantly, I think we've got a real good bunch that really work hard every single day in training, and there's a real togetherness there and strive to try and achieve the things we want to set out to do this season, and we're on track to do that at the minute. But there's no point in resting on that. We want to keep pushing on and be as successful as we can.
David, we've saw 2 young fullbacks break into the first team squad in Sean Mackey and Josh Doig. How sort of pleasing has it been to see their development as an experienced fullback yourself?
I definitely think they've done really well. Right from the first day in pre-season, they've done really well, and I think it's as much as sometimes the manager will feel he's putting young boys in. I think he's shown he's got the trust in them to play. And yes, especially Josh is quite young, but he's took his opportunity very well and done great when he's been in there. And the likes of Sean's had a few injuries of late, but he's managed to get himself back up and running and fit. And you know what Sean's like; he's a strong, powerful boy, and more than capable of playing at this level, which he's shown. So no, there's no surprises there from our end. They train well all the time, and I think they've done really well.
And just looking ahead to tomorrow, does it help that you obviously played Dundee and obviously got the victory so recently?
I think there's a couple of ways of looking at that. One thing we're definitely not doing is thinking that just because we beat them the last time that it's going to be an easy game. Obviously the scoreline was 4-1, but I think anybody watching the game would understand that it was a difficult game, and we fully expect another one tomorrow. So that's one thing we need to guard against, to make sure everybody's well aware that the last game's completely irrelevant. It's a different situation. It's a cup tie. Anything can happen in the cup, so we need to make sure that we're as prepared as possible and fully focused on making sure we're in the hat for the next round.
Oh, good.